we're going to dive into something called TurboQuant. It's this really cool new algorithm from Google Research that's making AI models smaller, way smarter, and incredibly fast. So let's just get right into it.
So, you know that feeling, right? You're using some powerful AI. You ask it a really tough question, and then you wait. There's that little bit of lag while it thinks. Have you ever wondered why that happens? Why these brilliant systems can sometimes feel just a little bit sluggish? Well, that's the exact problem we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so it all boils down to what we can call AI's big memory problem. See, for these models to be so powerful, they need to rely on what is basically a giant digital cheat sheet just to work properly. So how does an AI actually, well, think? It doesn't use words like you and I do. It uses these things called high-dimensional vectors. The best way to think about them is as the thoughts of the AI. They're these super detailed data points that capture all the nuance and meaning behind a word or all the little features in an image. They're the source of AI's power, but they are also really, really bulky. And that brings us to the real bottleneck, something called the key value cache. This is that digital cheat sheet we just mentioned. It's the AI's short-term, high-speed memory. It's supposed to store all those vector thoughts for quick access. But when the vectors themselves are huge, the cheat sheet gets totally clogged up. It's like a traffic jam on a highway. The AI has to search, and that's what causes the slowdown. Now, you might be thinking, okay, surely someone's thought of a fix for this. And you'd be right. Researchers have known about this for a while, and they had a fix. But it turns out that old fix had its own secret little flaw. The classic solution is a technique called vector quantization. It's basically a standard data compression trick. The logic was simple, right? If the vectors are too big, let's just shrink them down. Well, here was the catch. These old methods had a problem called memory overhead. To shrink the data, they actually had to store extra information on the side, just to make the compression work. This meant adding extra bits of data for every single number, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of compressing in the first place, right? It's like carefully packing a suitcase to save space, but then having to carry a whole separate bag just for your packing instructions. And this is where our new hero, TurboQuant, enters the picture. Let's talk about this super elegant solution to this big, clunky problem. TurboQuant's approach is actually brilliantly simple. It's just a two-step plan. First, it uses this really clever method called PolarQuant to do some high-quality compression. Then, it uses a nifty mathematical trick called QJL to clean up any tiny errors left over. Compress, then clean. It's that simple. Okay, so let's pop the hood and see what makes these two steps so special. This is where we get into the real secret sauce, the clever angles and mathematical tricks that make it all work. This slide just explains the magic of that first step, PolarQuant, perfectly. A standard method is like giving directions by saying, go 3 blocks east and then 4 blocks north. It works, but it's two separate instructions. PolarQuant is way more efficient. It's like saying, just go 5 blocks in that direction, pointing at a 37-degree angle. You get to the exact same place, but with less information. That clever little shift is how it gets rid of all that wasteful memory overhead. And now for part 2, QJL. This is the zero overhead trick. After PolarQuant does its thing, QJL comes in as the final quality check. It refines the data, shrinking numbers down to just a single sign bit, either a +1 or a -1. It's a super, super efficient way to make sure everything is accurate without adding a single extra bit of data weight. It's pretty brilliant. Okay, so the theory sounds amazing. It's clever, it's efficient, but does it actually work in the real world? Well, let's take a look at the results because they are honestly pretty jaw-dropping. First up, size. TurboQuant shrinks that AI cheat sheet, the key value cache, by 6 times. A 6x reduction. But here's the really incredible part. It does this with zero compromise in the model's accuracy. The AI's memory footprint gets 6 times smaller, but it stays just as smart. And if getting smaller wasn't enough, it also gets faster. A lot faster. On some of the most powerful GPUs out there, models using TurboQuant saw up to an 8 times performance boost. So not just smaller, but dramatically faster too. This chart really helps put it all into perspective. It shows how TurboQuant performs against other methods. On this specific test, you can see TurboQuant over on the left getting the highest score. It beats the baseline, and it even beats its own component, PolarQuant, when it's used by itself. The data is clear. It consistently delivers the best results. So this is all fascinating stuff, but let's bring it back home. Why does any of this tech actually matter to you and me in our everyday lives?
Well, the big payoff is that the AI tools we all use are about to get a major upgrade. Take search, for example. We're moving beyond just keywords to something called semantic search, where the engine understands the meaning behind your questions. That requires sifting through billions of those vectors we talked about. TurboQuant makes that whole process way faster. But it's bigger than that. This kind of efficiency means powerful AI is no longer just for giant data centers. We could soon see this level of intelligence right on your phone, in your car, making our everyday devices truly smart.
And that really brings us to the big final thought here. A technology like TurboQuant isn't just a small improvement. It removes a fundamental bottleneck on AI. It really makes you wonder, what new things become possible? What will we create when AI no longer has a speed limit?